Hey everybody, how's it going? I got a few deadlift videos here. Me and Joe was working on mobility, so we didn't really do much weight, just working on overall setup, just trying to get into a good pulling position. We picked up a few different mobility exercises from Mobility Wad. I'll post some links to the videos that we watched and the exercises we did to improve our mobility. We did see some improvement in our mobility. I'm going to start the video off here with Matt Lockwood. He's looking to pull a big PR here before too long. Matt keeps his head in a real neutral position. He's actually got a still plate at about a shoulder blades going up to the back of his neck, which leaves his head in a neutral position, which kind of is an advantage for him as a puller. And he's got a real sweet little stroke there. As you can see, he's built well for the pull. He's shorter and he don't got to move the bar very far. We'll slow this one down. And I'd like to see Matt get a little bit tighter, but he pulls his hips through real good. It's just kind of like looks like a hip pull through there at the top. It's like you don't have to kind of have that added where that bar had stopped. You were good there, so you don't got to kind of over-exaggerate pushing the hips through. Here I go. This is before we did any mobility exercises, these first two pulls. Just regular warm-up, foam rolling, and just warming up. And then we did some mobility exercises, and these next ones will be afterwards. And I will post some still pictures so you can actually see the improvement in the overall setup and mechanics of the pull. You'll see a huge difference in Joe when we post his, but mine also did. And like I said, we're just working for him. I am going to put a little weight on the bar here in a second. I can't even, I think 275 maybe, but just add a little bit of weight. But I'd had somebody come into the gym, a customer that I had to work with, and I got colds on my back. My glutes are not activated at all in this pull. As you can see, I'm kind of look like a dog pooping. I'll slow it down, got the rounded back, and no butt into it as I just lean back, which is my traditional way of pulling. I got to get those glutes in it, and I think I just got cold and they turned off, so they weren't there. Here's a still picture of before mobility work. The position I got in, I'm shot up above in front of the bar, got my shoulders and quite a bit of me. Here it is. As you can see, a lot more of me is back behind the bar, which is a much better pulling position. So the mobility work proved. Put about 10 minutes into the mobility work and got some pretty drastic improvement in overall setup, and we'll be doing more stuff too. This is just the first time we tried it, and I'm pretty excited about it. Here Joe goes. This is before mobility work, and then I believe these pulls are after the mobility work. As you'll see, he'll get much further back, get into a much better position. Joe, I keep cueing him all throughout this workout to get his head neutral. As you can see, as you'll see, that his head never does get neutral in any of these pulls. So Joe, you really got to keep that head neutral. Head neutral is where your head is whenever you're standing up looking forward. Your head stays in that position. It don't stay looking forward as your body bends over. As you see, your head's still forward like you're standing up. That's not a neutral position. So you kind of got to put that still rod in your neck like Matt's got there, and keep that head neutral. And later on, as you put a little bit of weight on the bar, you'll see what I'm talking about and why that head being in that position is going to screw your pull up, and you're not going to be able to stay in a good position once you add weight to the bar. And we'll get to that a little bit later on here, as you're starting to see it right there as your hips shoot up and you just shoot out over the bar. And you're getting, as you can see here, like your setup, you're starting to get back in front of the bar, and if you'll notice where the bar is compared to where your feet are, your ankles are not under the bar anymore. As we slow it down, as you're shot forward, and that's because your bar's over the middle of your feet instead of over back over your ankles like it needs to be. So your shins are shot forward, which is shooting everything forward. And here in a minute, I think the neck, we'll slow this down here in a second, and you'll see the head neutral. Shoot your shoulders frontwards, your bar being too far out in front of you, shoot your shins forward. And as you get ready to initiate the pull, you'll see your knees will lock back into the place where they should have been, and your bar gets out in front of your shins, and then you shoot. Here we go. You're going to shoot forward over the bar. Boom. Knees throw back to where they should have been to begin with, where the bar should have started. You're out in front of your shins. Got to use a lot of lower back to extend it up, and it just shoots you way out over the bar and puts you in a bad position. So we got to make sure you're standing up straight on the bar. Get those ankles under. Here's you before mobility. This next shot will be you after the mobility. And then I threw in what I was talking about the bar being too far. As you'll look at this next still shot, the bar is rolled too far in front of your feet. Your shins are shot forward as you're over your toes almost is where the bar, and that's why that pull went horrible.